ABC7's complete coverage of the firing of New Mexico State head basketball coach Greg Heiar.
It comes after several NMSU players were accused of sexually assaulting a teammate in a hazing incident that stemmed months.
And we first brought you the story of the coach's firing as breaking news on ABC7 at 6 on KVIA.com and the KVIA News app as a phone alert.
The hazing allegations came to light Friday, but new tonight, ABC7's Rachel Phillips has fan reaction on the firing. ABC7 Sports Director Adrian Ochoa will have a look at Heiar's short time with the Aggies. But let's begin with Rachel first. Rachel.
Eric, for nearly a year now, Greg Heiar has pulled into this parking lot, parked in this reserved spot with his name on it, and then followed this path down to the Pan American Center. But it's safe to say Greg Heiar will never make that trek again, because today he was fired as head coach of the NMSU men's basketball team after sexual allegations within the team came to light.
I've been going to the Aggie games for the last 30 years. And it's just very sad to see something like this happen.
Things might have been dull on the court this season, but they were the complete opposite off of it. The Aggies engulfed in a scandal-ridden season under first-year head coach Greg Heiar. A deadly shooting back in November with his basketball players being involved, and then now these sexual assault accusations.
I do believe that it was time to fire the coach.
I just feel that he never had control of the team.
If it's got to be done, it's got to be done, you know, that this kind of behavior can't be tolerated anymore.
On Tuesday, Chancellor Dan Arvizu put a stop to it all, announcing the termination of Heiar. In a statement, Arvizu said, quote, hazing has no place on our campus and those found responsible will be held accountable for their actions. I am committed to the safety and well-being of all members of our campus community as well as to the integrity of our university. ABC7 also learned Tuesday athletic director Mario Mocha, who less than a year ago introduced Heiar, was also the one to call and tell him he's been fired. Now, while sources have told ABC7 that Mocha's position within the school was discussed in the Board of Regents meetings Tuesday, his job is safe.
I think he's been very good to NMSU, to the program, and I'm glad he's still there.
Not necessarily enthused that he's also kept his job, but I understand that there's positions with the program that need to be maintained in order to move the program forward.
And while there are still a lot of changes to come and questions that need answers, many fans are hopeful Tuesday's decision is the beginning of a turning point for this program.
And Steph and Eric, you just heard me talk about questions, and that's because there is a lot of them. Like, will head coach Greg Heiar be fired without pay? What will happen to those students who are accused of those sexual assault allegations? Will the DA follow up with that? And what about the rest of the coaching staff? Will they suffer the same fate as Heiar? Well, we hope we will get a lot of those answers tomorrow at 10 a.m. when NMSU is set to host that press conference. Might I add, it is the first time that NMSU has made themselves available to us on camera. So we will, of course, bring you all of those details. But for now, reporting live from the Pan American Center with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Rachel Phillips, ABC7.
All right, Rachel, thank you. And be sure to download the KVIA News app to get a breaking news alert when ABC7 live streams that NMSU news conference at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And we will also bring it to you on KVIA.com and live on air here on ABC7. And we will continue our coverage on ABC7 at noon and in all our afternoon and evening newscasts.
Now let's get to ABC7 Sports Director Adrian Ochoa with a look at Heiar's short time with NMSU. He joins us live in the studio. Adrian.
Yeah, Eric, you think of just all the hopes that NMSU had for the basketball program under Greg Heiar, and in less than a year, all those hopes just gone. This was a program that just a year ago under Chris Jans was on such a high note, a WAC tournament championship and that upset win against UConn in the NCAA tournament. So in March of 2022, it seemed like a natural fit, Heiar getting the job after Jans left for Mississippi State. The two coaches knew each other and their style of play were similar, so it was believed that Heiar would easily carry the mantle into NMSU. He brought in some of his players from JUCO, landed some transfers from Power 5 programs, but with all the issues off the court, success on it never happened, as Heiar leaves NMSU with an overall record of 9-15. Prior to the season being shut down, the Aggies were in last place in the WAC with a 2-10 conference record. It's an unfortunate end for a coach who at the time was ecstatic for his first head coaching job in Division I basketball.
That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. Energy, passion, competitiveness, and confidence. And ain't nothing gonna change. Aggie Nation, stand up. We gonna get this thing popping.
Indeed, fast forward 11 months, a lot has changed. As the last NMSU basketball coach to be fired during his tenure, that would be Neil McCarthy. That too was surrounded by controversy, as McCarthy coached the Aggies from 1985 to 1997. It was prior to the start of that 97 season that McCarthy was fired due to an academic scandal. And now here we are with hazing allegations to deal with. Stephanie?
All right, Adrian, and we do have a timeline of Heiar's time at NMSU. Even before the basketball season began last October, several NMSU basketball players were accused of being involved in this fight, caught on camera. This happened at Aggie Memorial Stadium in Las Cruces during a home game against UNM. The match is known as the Battle of I-25, a big rivalry game. NMSU said some student athletes were disciplined but did not specify how. We can tell you they kept playing games. Police say one of those NMSU players involved in the fight was Mike Peak, and we'll get back to him in a moment. Now, in November, Heiar had his first game leading the NMSU Aggies. He and the team won that first match, but controversy followed just a few weeks later relating to that October fight that we just showed you in Las Cruces. Police say UNM student Brandon Travis was also involved in that fight and wanted to take out revenge against Peak. Investigators say Travis convinced a 17-year-old girl to lure Peak to the UNM campus by promising him sex. You can see that girl and Peak walking on the right side of your screen in the early morning hours of the same day of a basketball match between NMSU and UNM. A surveillance camera captured the moment Travis and two other men attacked Peak with a baseball bat, Peak pointing a gun at him. You could see the two fire as they both ran. Travis died. He was shot and died. Peak was wounded but survived. Moments after the shootout, you could see here surveillance video capturing 3 NMSU basketball players arriving in a yellow Camaro to pick up Mike Peak. Now, police questioned Heiar and other NMSU assistant coaches, as you can see in this dashcam video. Aside from the shooting, there were other controversies for the team. The NMSU players who were at UNM during the shooting broke curfew. Peak brought a gun with him on the bus and onto the UNM campus. And after the shooting, Peak's gun ended up in an Albuquerque hotel with an assistant coach. Peak's cell phone ended up in Las Cruces with the NMSU administration in Las Cruces, and Peak's tablet, which he had during the shooting, was on the team's bus.
To extra depth and perspective on the hire of Greg Heiar. Typically for a position like this, there are exhaustive background and reference checks done before a decision and a hire is made. Heir's resume included 2 stops under former head coaches who were surrounded by controversy. First was at Wichita State, where Heiar was an assistant under head coach Greg Marshall from 2011 to 2017. Marshall resigned years later after allegations of multiple verbal and physical incidents against former players and even staff members. Marshall allegedly punched a player during the 2015-16 season. And then a report from Stadium also stated that Marshall allegedly choked one of his assistants, not Heiar, during the 2016-17 season, which also happened to be Heir's last season with Wichita State. Heiar was not implicated in any wrongdoing there. After that season, he joined Will Wade's staff at LSU, where he was an assistant from 2017 to 2020. Yahoo Sports reporting in 2019, the FBI recorded conversations Will Wade had about paying recruits and luring them with job offers. Wade was eventually fired by LSU in 2022, well after Heiar left the program, and again without any accusations directly against Heiar. Heiar left LSU and spent the next season at East Tennessee State University before landing the head coaching gig at Northwest Florida State at the junior college level. That's where he won a JUCO national championship in his lone season a year ago before getting the Aggies job. It was at his introductory news conference just less than a year ago that he made this pitch to the players in attendance left from the Chris Jans roster.
I want to coach all of you. I want to get to know all of you. I want to invest in you. I want to help each and every one of you become the best version of yourself through trust, belief, and just spending time together. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance, and I promise I'll change your life.
But not even 11 months later, the Greg Heiar era is officially over at New Mexico State.